Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. This is Henry. I am back at Cat Lake for a quick dive because the weather turned out absolutely beautiful today. Look at this. There's only one vehicle up in the parking lot, and of course BC Recreational Sites and Trails has been very gracious to allow me to have a key to the gate because I've been doing cleanup dives here about 3 or 4 times a year for the past 10 years. So they were nice enough to say, you know what, here's a key, stop calling the camp host who's not actually at work to come and unlock the gate for you. So I know this is kind of hard to see, but I'm going to turn the camera around here, staring right into the sun right there. So for the longtime followers, you guys know I clean underneath this dock, that dock, that dock, and that dock in the shade right over there. So that's 4 docks. Let me see if I can shade the sun for you. But over here in this little alcove, you guys probably can't see it. Yeah, so right there is an alcove that I've never actually dove before, and I'm staring directly into the sun, so it's kind of hard to see. But Otto's son Gerard was actually diving over there a little while, one of the last few times we were here, and Gerard said, oh yeah, no, there's a whole bunch of trash over there. So I'm going to go in that direction because I've never been there before. Yeah, it's been raining right up to today, and this rain is supposed to come by midnight tonight, so I'm quite lucky to have this little break. So today's Boxing Day, actually. I hope you guys all had a good Christmas. I've done 42 cleanup dives in the year 2023. I didn't bother checking the total weight, but it was a reasonable amount. And so today, what did I say, 42? So today is a 43rd cleanup dive for the year. So, and I don't think I'll have enough time. I definitely won't have enough time to do another one before New Year's Eve. So reasonably successful year. The most cleanup dive we ever done in a single year was 57 cleanup dives. That was a couple of years ago when we did that trash to art project. I did 57, and then the following years, last year we did 52, and then this year we're at a little bit less. Mostly because I got a job working at BC Liquor. So anyway, see you guys in the water. So the first thing I'm going to do for this dive is I'm going to scooter over on the surface, and the reason I scooter at the surface is to conserve as much gas as I can, and it's about 150 meters or so to get to this corner, and then once I reach my dive spot, this is looking back in the direction that I came, dropped into pretty shallow water. I think this is around like 15-20 feet of water or something like that. It was very, very shallow. Visibility was really good. But I thought I'd drop in on top of a ton of trash, and there really wasn't like a huge amount in the spot that I dropped in. and looked around and saw maybe like I think 1 or 2 cans or bottles. I noticed right away, and I'll talk about this later on. I noticed right away that I'm pretty much seeing like just glass bottles. There's definitely some cans, but there's proportionally more glass bottles than there is cans. It's always so fascinating, this these logs that are just, these are blowdowns in that area, and they're obviously really old because they're actually starting to rot underwater, and it's actually pretty difficult for logs to rot underwater because there's a lack of oxygen down there. So found a bunch of old tennis balls and dog chew ball things. And then I started to run into random collections of bottles and cans, like in one spot. There'd be just like a whole bunch of stuff. It almost makes me think that at one point there would have been like a log or something, and then people on their floaties would have been hanging out like right next to the log, and then that's where the bottles and cans sort of end up. And then I'll kind of go over like a long area without seeing anything, and then I'll run into like a batch of garbage again. So it's kind of funny how things end up in the water. I have no idea why they do that. So, but yeah, cleared up some cans, some bottles, and then I scootered, and then eventually I run into a patch of more trash again. It's always a kind of a toss-up. I can either scooter and cover huge distances, but get really cold because I'm not using my legs to fin myself along, obviously under the power of the scooter, or I could not bring the scooter, but then I gotta like swim really, really hard and use up a ton of gas for my dives. But yeah, interesting bottom here. if the visibility is really good and I'll see a bunch of trash sort of in different directions, what I'll typically do is just leave my bag in one spot, and then I'll swim to the left, collect a bunch of things, grab some stuff, and I'll swim back with 3, 4, 5, 6 bottles, whatever, as many as I can carry, go back to the place where I left my collection bag, drop it into the bag, and then go to the other direction, like swim to the right and pick up more stuff in that direction. Didn't find very many sunglasses. I think this one was a keeper, actually. I can't remember now. But yeah, it was a good dive. I really enjoyed it. Ooh, cold dive. My these gloves, they're not 100% waterproof sometimes. You can see here the watermarks here. There's a little bit of leak. And it wasn't so much the glove itself was leaking. It was just it's just not a good seal, because all we do is pull these dishwashing gloves over the hard ring, and if there's a little bit of seep for whatever reason. So my hands are cold. Ooh, during a dive, you might see me doing this a bunch of times. It's because I'm actually trying to get some movement, get some blood circulation into my fingers, because I'm cold. It was 6 degrees in the water, and it's 6 degrees to the surface. And honestly, I'm just going hypothermic slowly, or quickly, however you want to look at it. I think it was like a 43-minute dive. So it lasted for as long as I could. There's not as much garbage as I thought there would be. I thought I'd get like at least 2 bags, and I ended up only getting 1 bag. Face is kind of frozen. All right, let me get out of the suit. I'm going to warm up a tiny bit. I might just go for a walk up and down the hill a bit just to get my blood circulation, and then I'll show you the garbage. Alrighty, so here's all of the trash that I got. Really unfortunate, when I was coming out of the water, I dropped the can, but it was so silty that I couldn't see it. And of course, now that I've changed, I'm not going back in to get that. I hope somebody who's swimming can pick that up. Alright, so this is what we got. We got some dog toys. I guess over there must be, like right there. I guess there must be kind of like a little area where people kind of hang out with their dogs, because that's where all the dog toys were. Got 17 cans, a couple of pair of sunglasses. I was kind of expecting to find a lot more sunglasses, and lots of bottles here. 30, looks like 38 bottles. Found one, this one right here. This is kind of interesting. Tiny little bottle. Probably, I don't know how many milliliters, but it's really, really small. Much smaller than even the stubbies. So that's kind of neat. There we go. That was not a super fun dive, just because I'm unfamiliar with the area. So it's kind of like going over logs and under logs and whatever. I mean, it's still a fun dive, but anyway, I was hoping to see a lot more trash, just because I haven't been there before. What's interesting is usually when I dive a lake like this, and I hit it year after year after year, I pretty much clear all the glass bottles, and over there in that one spot, because I've never dove there before, a lot of these glass bottles that you see behind me are all pretty vintage, in the sense that they've been there a long time. Lots of stubbies in there. And typically these days, people who come and camp here, they don't bring glass bottles, because you can't drive into the site. So you have to actually park down in the parking lot and then walk all your shit in. So most people don't actually bring glass bottles to here, because glass bottles heavy. Anyway, today is Boxing Day, so hope you had a great Christmas. Happy New Year's. Hope you have a great 2024 coming up, and stick to your New Year's resolutions and all that stuff. And wish you guys well. Thank you so much for my Patreon supporters, and thank you so much to Pacific Pilsner for sponsoring the dive. And we'll see you guys in the next one.